Most of you aren't subscribed. Make sure to rev the subscribe button as it helps out the channel. Without further ado, flashing into Power's past, she had always devoured other wildlife, but her cat was the only creature she ever cared for. Therefore, when the bad devil took her cat hostage, a new warm and pleasant feeling about blood had been realized. Back in real time, Power is seen in the stomach of the bad devil, cradling the caged cat. Blinking twice, the background changes, noticing Denji above her. Finally saved, in the arms of Denji, she questions his reason for saving her, even after her attempt at sacrificing him. Without uttering a single word, Denji points at Power's chest, following up with a squeezing motion. Berating Denji on such a foolish answer, she reasons that it would only be fair to allow it, as her feline friend is now safe. Realizing what Power had given permission to, Denji raises his fist, in celebration for such an accomplishment. Just then his arm is severed. With an outstretched tentacle, reaching over to grab his loose arm, we follow the tentacle back to a disturbing creature, the leech devil. Revealed to be its arms, the leech devil tosses his arm into its mouth, swallowing it in an instant. Asking if Denji is alright, Power suggests for him to grab her pet and flee the scene. Without a second thought, Denji rips his cord. With a small chainsaw protruding his forehead, Power is in shock having seen Denji transform for the first time. Due to Denji's spewing so much blood in the previous fight, he's unable to conjure his chainsaws. Suddenly, the leech devil begins to speak, uttering that it had finally found the person that slayed the bad devil. It reveals that the bad devil was its lover, but it is willing to let Denji off the hook, as he's pretty cute. Asking about the lives of Power and her cat, dodging to the right, Denji wraps around the creature, only for it to respond by turning around and strike down on Denji. Making use of the momentum, Denji becomes airborne, which the creature notices, sending Denji into a nearby building. Landing on his 2 feet, we see Denji still half transformed, with a miniature chainsaw protruding out of his forehead. Forced to dodge the falling surroundings, the leech devil attempts to catch Denji off guard with its arms. The entire time, Power is amazed at Denji's willpower, all just to fondle her chest. Having blocked the creature's tail, Denji sees an opening, closing the distance and placing a punch on the creature. Brushing off Denji's attempts, the leech knocks Denji back with its arms, refusing to believe that Denji was able to kill the bad devil. Mentioning that the leech devil and the bad devil had aspirations of devouring all of humanity, the creature confesses that such a dream would have never happened, but it was still romantic to consider such a thing. Confessing that it would be a shame to kill Denji, Denji refuses to die without copping a feel, only for the creature to feel sad for killing a human with such a trashy dream. Taking a deep breath, Denji remembers Aki's words, about how everyone but Denji is serious. Having dodged and parried the creature's strikes, Denji runs along the creature's arm, making its way towards its head. Using whatever chainsaw at his disposal, Denji manages to place a slash at the creature's throat. Frustrated at always being made fun of, Denji begins to berate other people and their normal dreams. Adoring Denji for squealing so much, the leech devil faces Denji head-on. Violently waving its tentacle-like arms around, the creature forces Denji to evade its every strike. Making use of the deceased bad devil's internals, with the creature stationary, Denji continues to cut and avoid its strike, whilst Power observes Denji's demonic-like movement. With the creature losing Denji's whereabouts, Denji uncovers himself, having hid in the bad devil's internals. Lunging towards the creature, and grabbing its hair, Denji rams his forehead chainsaw into the creature. With huge amounts of blood spewing from the collision, it's revealed that the creature's tongue had penetrated Denji's chest. With Power unable to help, the creature announces, it's finally time to devour Denji. Just then, stepping back from the fight, we see Aki stationed away from the fight, framing the two between his fingers. Using a finger puppet, he mutters, "Khan," only for a fox-like creature to appear and decapitate the leech devil. Talking to Aki, the fox identifies and asks if he can swallow the leech devil, with Aki responding, yes. With the fox's job done, it creates a cloud of smoke, disappearing. Out of the smoke, we observe other members from Aki's unit. Confirming that the leech devil has been exterminated, Aki orders for the older gentleman and the young girl to carry out search and rescue, evacuating any civilians. With the two complying, Aki as the older lady, Himeno, to watch out for other possible demons. Turning to the dazed Denji, Aki helps Denji up, stating that the two need to be debriefed. The scene ends with Aki reassuring Power that her feline friend will be thoroughly checked and cared for by a veterinarian. Awaking in a hospital bed, Aki reveals that the gang was able to find Denji's arm, reattaching it with a simple blood infusion. Asking about Aki's relationship with the fox, Aki reveals that he had formed a contract with the fox devil, offering some of his blood for Power. Sadly, this time Aki had to offer some of his flesh. Stating that devils and fiends want to devour humans, Aki adds that surveillance footage reveals Denji and Power were heading towards their patrol area, but suddenly began heading elsewhere. Speculating that their new location was housing the bad devil, Aki also discovered huge amounts of Denji's blood at the new location. With a serious tone, Aki asks whether Power attempted to kill Denji, only for Denji to fake ignorance to Power's intentions. Knowing Denji is attempting to cover for Power, Aki reflects on the survivors' testimonies, as some praise Denji for saving them. Others are mad at the destruction caused from his recklessness. Knowing that Denji and Power will be disposed of, if the higher-ups hear word about this, Aki makes Denji an offer. In return for covering the whole ordeal up, Denji must obey Aki's orders. Stating that Denji is a dumb brat, he'll be able to learn about the inner workings of the world whilst also maintaining his livelihood, if he listens to Aki. Agreeing to such a condition, Denji mentions that although he may not have aspirations as convoluted as others, he still is as serious about living. Noting that Denji should start off by learning manners, Aki leaves Denji's room. With Himeno and Power listening to the whole conversation, Power demands that she be freed from her handcuffs, now that Denji has not framed her for the conflict earlier. With Himeno questioning whether they should let Power off the hook, as the future outcomes will be blamed onto Aki, Aki states that Power will be off use in the future. The scene ends with Aki stating that devils and fiends are not his friends. Heading back to the agency, Aki greets Makima. Makima brings up that Denji and Power were able to leave surveillance so easily, but Aki adds that there were no fatalities and as a result 2 devils were exterminated, asking for the whole matter to be excused entirely. With a cold glare, Makima agrees to excuse the whole incident, asking whether Aki has changed due to Denji. Denying such a statement, Aki leaves. The next morning Aki wakes up. Washing his face, brushing his teeth and manually making coffee, Aki enters his balcony sipping the coffee whilst reading the newspaper. As Denji wakes up, he questions how Aki is up so early, whilst Aki enjoys a smoke. That afternoon, whilst Aki is making curry, the two hear a rumbling at the front door. Revealed to be Power, Aki learns that Makima has entrusted him with housing Power as well, as it would be strange to have Power constantly live at the facility. Forced to comply, Power immediately throws the two off by refusing to eat vegetables, flush her feces and take a bath. Forced to clean up Power's mess, Denji is pissed seeing Power just watch. Just then Power reminds Denji of their agreement. Sitting down, she allows Denji to fondle her breast but only 3 times. At first she wasn't going to allow it, but, because he saved her cat, slayed the bad devil and lied to Aki for her, she will allow Denji to squeeze 3 times. Thanks for watching.